In this demo, March is finished, so I want to come into Pigment and I want to start doing my reforecast. So I'm going to layer in March actuals, which we quickly see are not in Pigment just yet. So we're going to use DataBlend to refresh my actuals in Pigment from, in this case, Fluence, which is a consolidation tool. Now this is DataBlend, but for you as a customer, you don't have to come in here. Plenty of our customers don't. You just rely on our scheduling function, which we can schedule to be as granular as you like, in terms of notifications, success, failure, all of that good stuff. Or I can always push the button that says run, and off it goes, and we'll go collect the updated actuals, send them into Pigment, which is not a time-consuming process, as you see here. And it is complete. Back to Pigment, and we see it will refresh the March actuals. But what I want to do here is give you a little bit of a window into how we build up these connections, because they're not difficult. If I look at my credentials, if I look at Pigment, we put in some API keys. With some, it's login details, whatever it might be. But once we have those credentials, we set up a collector, or more than one collector. If I look at Fluence, a collector is about pulling from a database table. Other ways of collecting data, if I look at, say, Blackline, we create a report. In the source system, we pull from that. Or a lot of systems are like, for example, a Sage Intacct, where if I punch in my credential there, it's all object-based. So I can browse all of these objects and choose, hey, which fields and which data do I want to bring across. Once I've got that set of data, we come in and create a query, which changes the data in whatever way is necessary for the target system. Now, if I look at my Fluence actuals into Pigment, we can see a couple of things. It's fairly simple, this one. Here we've got a column map. I'm bringing across account name. Fluence, it's got an underscore. Pigment doesn't want that underscore, so we're going to rename it on the way through. Or if I look at date, now in this case, the date is in the right format for Pigment, but often it's not. So here with these transforms, see, I've got all these different methods that I can just add in to a pick and click type interface. In this case, maybe I want to format the date. I'm going to say, right, it comes in this format, but it needs to go out in, say, the non-US format. Once I've changed the data in the way that I want, I can send it off to where it needs to be. In the case of Pigment, it's a question of putting in the ID for the import, but other systems will do other things. And then a workflow pulls together some of those things into something that we can schedule or push buttons. So if I look at my Fluence actuals into Pigment, we're collecting the actuals, we're sending it off to Pigment. Now this demo has only covered the basics. One thing we haven't covered is the fact that, of course, we can collect from Pigment in exactly the same way as we can push data into Pigment, and workflows can be a lot more advanced as well. Most critically, we can do data quality reporting when we pull the data, make some checks against it before we push it to the target. Once it's all set up, of course, it's a simple matter of pushing the button and off it goes.